Hey besties! Welcome back to another episode of From Blended to Besties. We're your besties, Megan and Tiffany. We are on episode 6 of season 5. So we do have a I Need a Bestie today, so I figured we could do that too before jumping into today's topic. Remember a couple episodes ago, the girl who emailed in and asked if she could ask a question?
Oh, that's all she said?
Yeah, she's the one who wrote back. So... she said, "Hi, Megan and Tiffany. I need a bestie. I'm a 29-year-old girl, or should I say woman. I never grew out of that term." This email's kind of long.
I'm a 29-year-old girl, too. I keep telling Mike. He said something. He's like, yeah, you 30-something years old. I'm like,
not yet.
I'm 29.
Girl, you have, less than 30 days.
It doesn't fucking matter.
You were less than 30 days. It's coming.
Still.
I'm going to skim to her question. She just was very flattering towards us. Very sweet email. Thank you for all the listening you do. And yeah, thank you so much. Very, very sweet email. So she says she was hoping we could offer some advice on an important turning point in her life. She met the love of her life, but she also got laid off from her 5-year corporate job that she thought she would be at forever. She met the love of her life. She is planning and ready to be a mom and wife within the next year or two. Her soon-to-be husband is amazing and supportive. We love that. He wants a family just as much as I want one, which is a lot. We have been talking about me potentially being a stay-at-home mom. I'm a little bit worried about not having a job and making my own money. I would love to hear your pros and cons on my husband being the sole provider and me as the caretaker. My biggest concern is feeling like a child again, having to ask my mom for $20 to go to the movies. Now only my mom is my husband. Yeah, I guess in an ideal world, this would be so nice, and I'm very lucky. He's trying to make enough money to take care of me and our family. I'm just worried about my independence and self-worth. I do want to be a stay-at-home mom and not have my kids in daycare all day. My mom took care of me, and I wouldn't be the same without her. However, I do see my dad having some authority over her, which is scary. I know my boyfriend wants more of a partnership than my parents had. For example, he helps me wash the dishes. At this point, I'm probably rambling. Let me know your thoughts. I know this might not be a big issue, and it's not about a blended family, so I'm sorry if it's a strange question. There are no strange questions. They don't have to be about having a blended family. Yeah. And she said, I really do appreciate all of your content. I love how you call out the creepy men. Keep it coming. Period.
I love that.
So I guess her main question is just our opinion on, because we are in that position. Well, we were. Well, actually, you weren't.
No.
You had a job, and then we went straight to Moms of Tampa.
Yeah. I think I'm on the same boat as she is, or I was on the same boat as she is. I was very against ever being a stay-at-home mom. Not that I have any issues with it, but that independency of I want to make my own money. I want to take care of myself. Depend on no man.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, kind of like how we do it. I think it's a great compromise. We get to stay at home with the kids, but we're still making money. Finding a stay-at-home, work from home job.
Yeah.
There's so many, ever since COVID, there's so many out there. They really blew it up where...
Even if it's part-time. There are so many part-time work-from-home jobs where you can make money on the side.
And there's jobs that you would never think of. Even right now, I saw another person online. They handle social media for other people, and you just do it from home. And it's not it's something that you don't consider a job, essentially.
Yeah.
But it is. People need that. You can find something to do that gets you paid that you would never think of, and you can kind of have best of both worlds.
If we weren't doing Moms of Tampa, could you do, having a newborn, could you do a part-time job from home and taking care of her? If Mike was at an office job, by yourself?
I could do my old job from home.
Yeah?
Yeah, they allow it to do work. Remember, I was doing it from home.
Yeah, but I'm saying, since you have a baby now and how, needy she is and how often you have to...
Yeah, because it's no meetings or talking on the phone. It's really just on the computer, so you need one hand. So, I do our social media accounts on one hand, so it really isn't that hard. It wasn't that hard of a job. It was just, busy computer work. But yeah, I think especially holding her like this and being on the computer, I think I would have easily been able to do it. I think a talking job, being on the phone all day, or a customer service job, I think it would be really hard with a newborn.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. I did have a job when Bryce was born, but I was able to bring him with me for the first year of his life.
Even what you did was even better too.
I was talking to people though, and I had to be face to face with the people, and I was like you are now with Bryce, and you know, I'd be on the phone. I did surgery scheduling and a lot of things with like medical insurance, so I was always on the phone. He'd be crying. He was always crying, so that was a little difficult. But what did you do? You did like bank stuff, right?
Yeah, I was a business analyst, so it was just a lot of paperwork, a lot of numbers, documents and stuff like that you were reviewing, sorting, editing. So I just needed to be on the computer. Obviously, I had to pay attention because it was serious legal matter stuff. But yeah, I could easily just have the computer in front of me, have her like this, or even have like that little chair that she has next to me. It would suck to probably have to get up so many times, but I mean, I would take breaks all the time too because it was exhausting to stare at a computer. Yeah,
I know. I remember that. Yeah, I think of not having money.
Kind of on topic, but off topic. Remember when I used to take my computer with me?
I was just going to say that. Tiffany and I'd be at the beach, margarita in one hand. Definitely a lot of, especially since COVID, work from home opportunities, and you could even do it part-time if you're worried. Or like Tiffany mentioned earlier when I told her about this email, every single time you go to the grocery store, just pay yourself. Take $20.
I saw that on Facebook, first of all, so no one comes for me. Someone said that she needed to make extra money, but didn't know how. She was going to give herself a paycheck for going grocery shopping.
That's
so
what
she
it
would
was.
Pay for the groceries, and then they said, do you want cash back? And she'd give herself an extra $20 for going grocery shopping. Like, she paid herself.
I love that.
Like, smart woman, because then it just shows up, like, if the groceries were $140, it came to $160.
Excuse me. No, that's hilarious.
Like that meme where that dad was like, "What is ULTA? Is that
a utility bell?"
Like, yeah.
So funny. Yeah, I would do that, or maybe get a hobby. You know, you could sell stuff on Etsy.
There's
many things.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity. It sucks because you do have to kind of like work a little bit harder in the beginning. But that's how a lot of these moms and women essentially who wanted to stay home with the kids have made things that are insane. Like, if you have a local business near you that probably needs social media help, you can offer to do it at home for, I don't know, $10 an hour, and it's still something.
I nannied. That's what I did when I was a stay-at-home mom. Because after the year that I worked with the job, Bryce was moving around, and it was too much. And I did not want to put him in daycare, so I stayed home. Yeah. But I nannied on the side in my home. Like, people would drop their babies off with me. And so I was able to, I mean, it wasn't as much as I was making, but it was something.
There's like doctors, lawyers. Actually, I just had a doctor's appointment last week where my doctor had someone on the computer, like just like the way the computer is in between us. And there was someone there who would just type out
what they were
saying.
Yeah.
And that's all what their job was to do. And I don't think...
transcription. Yeah.
And maybe you might need a degree. You don't... I think I've applied before where you didn't need a degree for something like that. You just have to hear the audio.
It's a course you have to take, because I looked into that as well.
Yeah. And it could be live or not live. You could have it like a video that you can play over and over, and you just type out the stuff. Mm-hmm. And it makes money.
And if you don't want to work, if you're asking for advice on just wanting to be a stay-at-home mom and how to go about that, ask for a debit card. I mean, my husband and I have a joint bank account. We've always had one. We had separate accounts when we were dating. But when we moved in together, we just put our bills together, and that's not true. We had our own separate accounts, and then we had a joint account together. And then when I stopped working, I moved my money over into his account, or our joint account, and then he closed his. So, I mean, we both had joint cards, and I never asked for anything.
Yeah.
I mean, to this day, I mean, we have our own money now, but I don't have my own bank account. I have a credit card that I pay off. That's for me. But we have one bank account, and my husband's paycheck goes into there, and he's just like, hey, slow down on spending, or whatever, you know.
I have my own bank account. We have our own separate ones, and then we have the joint and stuff. But one thing that we do, that we've always done, is paying ourselves, like, our own, I guess you say, like, spending money, I guess, weekly, where whether or not it gets paid from the joint account. So even if I make nothing that week, I still get to have my, like, portion of the weekly money to spend. Because we've talked about, like, us as adults, you always need, like, money for something. Like, if you're stressed out, or you just want, like, a break, or just, like, a little treat. I love treats.
Samesies.
You want to be able to spend something without having your significant other like down your throat or like questioning it, or it could be like a stupid reason why you're spending money, but like you just want to.
Or like Mother's Day's coming up.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to, yeah.
So we just put money to the side every single week. It's not a big amount, but it's just a little something that we'll always have, and we just take it from the joint account. So whether or not, it doesn't matter who put in the money or not, you have something to spend to enjoy yourself. Because you need that every now and then, and you don't want to have to like explain what you're buying sometimes. Like I said, even if it's something silly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I have a credit card and he has a credit card, and then we have a joint credit card. Conversations you should definitely have before. I don't know if you plan on working while you're pregnant. I know you said you were laid off. But I mean, even if you like did a job where you could like train, like let's say you had to do like for Disney, for example, I wouldn't advise working for Disney. Actually, my stepmom worked for Disney Dining, which is here in Florida, while she was a stay-at-home mom with my little, my brother was born. That's what my dad would talk about, like walking around with Aaron for hours, is because Ashley was working. She worked nights with Disney Dining. She would be in a little computer in their bedroom. But it was like a 6-month training or something where she had to go to the Tampa office or something. But maybe 6 weeks. I don't know. I don't remember. But basically my point is do the training while you're pregnant, and then
that's true.
You'll be ready for the job where you can just set everything up at home. Yeah.
Or just discuss it. Like she brought up the whole, like, feeling like asking her mom for money. Discuss it with him if you want to do, like what Megan said, a debit card where you don't feel like you have to ask for money. Open communication, I think, is going to be key for that.
Yeah, just talking about your finances in general and knowing where you both stand. You won't feel like you're asking for money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I agree.
So which brings us to our topics today. Oh, okay. Facebook just decided I was going to look at that instead of the article I clicked on.
And people never believe me when I'm like, I can't write notes down on my phone. Social media just pops up out of nowhere.
Okay, so Mother's Day is on Sunday, so I figured this topic would be fitting. I saw an article in Today Parents, actually, and it says, who is Mother's Day really for? Moms and grandmothers sound off. And the quote is, it's Mother's Day, not Grandmother's Day. So there's a lot of moms in the comments basically saying Mother's Day should be for the young moms who are like in the trenches. Like basically like Mother's Day should be for you and I, not for us to celebrate our mothers or our mother-in-laws, basically.
So like now we're determining who we celebrate on Mother's Day though?
Basically just, so the point of the article is, let's say, for example, like, it's Mother's Day, I just want to stay home and relax. Mm-hmm. But my mother-in-law is like, I want to go to brunch. Saying, and my husband's like, because that's my mother, we should go to brunch to celebrate my mother on Mother's Day. But I'm like, well, I'm the mother of your children. I want to stay home and do nothing, kind of thing. And that's what people are battling out here.
Like who celebrates?
Or who do you celebrate? Gotcha. Like your wife? Or do you force everyone to do something together? Do you do something separate for your wife, something separate for your mom? Do you go out of your way to celebrate your mom? Like, that's what people are saying, so.
I mean, I know when we started doing Mother's Day together, I started celebrating because I've always celebrated my mother for Mother's Day, obviously. I just celebrate with her on another day because she knows that Mother's Day, like, I'm using it for myself, if that makes sense. I think you should still call your mothers, everyone, and say Happy Mother's Day and kind of still, it is a celebration to them as well. But I do think the physical aspect of celebrating should be with your nuclear family. I think don't just like ignore your mother.
Yeah, like this day's not about you. I agree. I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I mean, I've never been that one who's like, it's my day. Like, I'm not. Like, even like with you, I'm like, what is Tiffany doing? Like, what is she doing?
Remember one year we did Mother's Day with Daphne and my mom.
We did. Daphne is my mother-in-law.
Yeah. We didn't Mother's Day just us four. Like, we didn't even have the husbands or kids. We kind of just,
we planned it ourselves.
Did our own thing.
Like, I do not like surprises. I've never been the kind of girl who likes a surprise. Everyone in my life knows this. Just tell me. I just have too much anxiety, and I do not enjoy surprises. If you I just don't enjoy it. So my husband will ask me, he'll be like, what do you want to do? Do you want me to plan something? Do you want to plan something yourself? You know, do you want time by yourself? Do you want to do something with Tiffany? Like, do you want to do something with the kids? Do you want, and we kind of plan it out from there. And I feel like every year it kind of varies. I always at least try to include my kid in some aspect of it because, you know, they are the reason I'm a mother, but also I do like to take some time for myself. One year, you and I, we've done a couple Mother's Days together. We've done, one year we went to Orlando.
Yes.
We stayed in a hotel. Oh no, we stayed at your stepmom's house. Yeah. And you and I went to a winery by ourselves. We got dressed up, went to brunch. All of us went to brunch.
Yes.
They dropped us off at the winery.
Yes.
And then we all went to an amusement park afterwards.
Yeah. I forgot about the amusement park. We did go to that afterwards.
We rode go-karts. Was it you and I in a go-kart together?
Yeah. Travis had Bryce, Mike had Michael, and then it was me and you. You were the kid for me.
Oh, it's terrifying.
You could have had your own, but you didn't for some reason.
I've never driven a go-kart, and I hate driving, period. I didn't want to drive one.
I have to see if I have a video saying that.
Girl, I'm
in a go-kart, this woman can't fucking drive.
I know. I was too afraid to. I don't like driving, and I don't want to drive a go-kart either. So, I'll drive a golf cart, but that's about it. Yeah. Those things like max out at like 20 miles an hour. So,
yeah, we did that one year. One year we did the thing with Daphne and my mom.
We went to
a Kentucky Derby style event. Remember we had the little.
Was that the same year?
Yeah.
Then we did a candle thing after.
Because Kentucky Derby was this past weekend.
Oh, yeah. We went to a restaurant and we had a couple drinks. We drank mint juleps.
Yep.
Not good.
No. And then we went to
the
candle stuff.
Yeah, we went and we made candles, like our own personalized candles. That was actually really fun. My candle was not good, though. I would do it totally different.
Man, a nice, good man.
And then we went to that wine place. And we had a drink over there.
We did. I forgot about that.
Yep, in Hyde Park.
Yeah, but my heel broke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so lovely. Yeah, it did. It freaking broke.
Good times. So, yeah, I think it, like, varies by year. I mean, yeah, sometimes I want to spend it with my kids and do something. This year, we don't have any plans. Like, at some point, Mike was trying to talk to Travis, or not, vice versa. Travis is trying to talk to Mike to figure out something, but we've just all been so busy, like, the conversation never happened.
And all I do is just, like, sleep and stuff. So he was even thinking, like, he was talking to me, he's like, I feel bad trying to force you to do stuff if all you want to do is sleep. So I was like, I don't know.
Sometimes that's what Mother's Day is. Yeah. You just want to relax, you know?
Like, just stay up extra just to say that I did something when I'm sick.
No, like, there's been a couple times where I told Travis, I was like, all I want for Mother's Day is for the kids not to argue.
Yeah.
And I want a clean kitchen. Yeah. I don't want to clean anything. I don't want to make dinner, and I don't want the kids to argue. Yeah. And Travis spent time with the kids all day, so I don't have to listen to them argue. And he cleaned the house, and that was good enough for me. So we don't always have to do something. But as far as our opinions on, like, including your moms, you have to remember, like, they're the reason you get to be moms, because they're your moms. Like, yeah. They're still moms, regardless. Yes, they're grandmas now, but
yeah,
they're still moms, you know, and
like, just don't forget about them, I guess, in the holiday part.
Yeah.
But as far as planning stuff, like, yeah, if your wife doesn't want to do absolutely anything and your mom or your mother-in-law does, I mean, just pick a different day. I don't believe that Mother's Day has to be celebrated, like, on Sunday either. Like,
I have that mentality with, like, every holiday, though.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a specific day. People hold on to that so much. I mean, like, you could do another day. I mean, Mike and I are big on celebrating on other days because they hike up prices of restaurants on holidays. Yep. And we prefer to eat on a cheaper budget.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think you can celebrate on another day. Do something else on a different day. Take your mom out to lunch the day before or the day after. Just don't forget about your mom.
Yeah, someone said, I'm a young mom of 3. I don't want to run around and make grandmas happy on that day. When do I get a day to do just what I want?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of moms on here saying, I'm a mother too. I deserve to be around and be celebrated. Mother's Day has always been about my mom and mother-in-law as the monarchs of our family. Yeah, she said, we never stop being a mom. I deserve to be celebrated and spend time with my family too. So that's the grandma saying that. Basically saying, I'm coming over. You're going to celebrate me as well. I'm coming over. It's about all moms.
Healthy boundaries there. Because sometimes you just don't want to do that. I mean, we love our families, but there's just sometimes you don't want to spend time with your family, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think for me, like when we become grandmas and mother-in-laws, I personally would never want my son to feel like, I mean, of course, like I want to be celebrated on Mother's Day and stuff, but I feel like right now we get 18 years, to be celebrated, to be the number one celebrated, 18 full years with our children. I think after that, up until they get married and have their own kids, and then let that mom of your grandchildren have her 18 years. You had almost 20 years of being the sole one who's being celebrated. Like, pass that on a little bit, No,
I agree. I feel like whenever Leilani becomes a mom, I think, like, Mother's Day would be like, oh my God, yay, like, happy Mother's Day to you. Like, enjoy your day. I remember on Mother's Day for me, like, how, like, much fun it was or what I did or whatever. But, like, as a grandma, I would want to celebrate her and be like, oh my God, like, the kids are celebrating you. Like, this is your day.
And then maybe take the kids to go get something for her, her mom and stuff like that. I was actually texting with my mother-in-law a couple days ago, and she got me, I got her last year for Christmas this picture frame, and you can like upload the pictures to it. And
oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, like continually, I constantly am just adding new photos and videos and stuff.
It's like a little surprise.
It is. So every time she turns it on, she never knows if she's gonna get like new pictures and stuff.
That's so
and sometimes
cool.
I put funny ones in there. Like Travis had cake all in his teeth one time, so one day that photo's gonna pop up and she's gonna be like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, yeah. But I was thinking, I was like, damn, like I kind of really want one, just like to like have it in my house and just upload pictures and stuff. So she said she was going to get one for me for Mother's Day, and I was like, you don't have to get me anything. Like, you're our mom. Like, I don't have to get you, or you don't have to get me anything. We're supposed to get you something. And she was like, you're the mother of my grandchildren. Of course, I'm going to get you something. And I was like, oh, okay, you can get it for me.
Okay, but that's low-key a great idea that we could have one for each other's houses, and it's like a surprise every time of like, is it Mike's butt that y'all are going to see us?
Absolutely. Please do not. You know what? I don't want to play this game anymore. So my dad has one, and you can add, so this is how you can do it. So you can add users. So my dad has his photo frame, and he, is the primary person or whatever, and he can upload all his pictures, but I'm also an added person, so I can add photos to his frame. Same thing with Daphne. Daphne is the primary person. She can add her own photos on, but I'm also an added person. So we can give each other access, and we could just like surprise. Like,
I think that'd be freaking hysterical. And you're like, what is this photo? You have people coming over, and then it's just like pans over.
Maybe that's what we'll get each other for Mother's Day, because I haven't gotten you anything yet.
That would just crack me up. I mean, I'm thinking of it in the wrong ways. Of like when you turn and you look at the album and like, what the heck?
Oh my god, just embarrassing photos of each other. It's Travis's feet. The
I was going to say that, like it's his feet.
Oh god.
Yeah. Every time it's a new horrible photo.
It's Mike's web toes. Oh.
I can't.
Gross. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll get you. I think that'd be really funny.
It'd be hysterical.
That's a good way
Every
to put
morning,
those to
just like bring our Instagram stories and be like, what new photos are we going to see today?
Oh my god. Absolutely not.
Hey, maybe that would get the husbands to take more photos.
Yeah, maybe. We ended up getting her the Ancestry DNA thing.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
That's good, because I think that would be a perfect gift for her.
Yeah. She said she wanted it. Plus, it went on sale for $39, so I was like, woo!
And you paid full price?
I did pay full price, and so did Travis. We paid $100.
Did Travis do it? Like, he sent it in and everything?
Yeah, it's on the last step. They said it should be here by the 12th.
Awesome.
Which is Sunday.
Today. Oh, okay.
So, we'll see.
I'm so excited.
I know.
I've never been more excited as people see people's white identity.
I know. I'm really hoping he got something cool. I didn't get anything cool. Mike didn't get anything cool.
No.
So I thought it was really
Well,
Really cool.
Mike got an eye opener because he's
Oh,
for
yeah.
years.
Can we expose, since we don't have another topic on this one, can we expose that?
Mike for years has told us that he's like Polish.
He's Polish, like that's his thing.
Yeah.
And Indian.
Yes, a Native American. It's so funny.
That's such a white people thing to say.
There's a country song where the guy says like Cherokee.
It's Tim McGraw.
Yeah, every time that goes on, I tell Mike, I'm like, oh, you white people think you're Cherokee, don't you?
Really do. That's a whole thing because I'll let you finish talking about Mike, but then like Mike and I are not related in any way now that we know.
I know.
But
we thought there was a 1% chance.
Like a lot of white people say that. Like, oh, we're Cherokee. And it's like, that's my mom. My mom used to say the same thing. You're Indian. Girl, there is no Indian. None.
Oh, that was my favorite. My favorite. But yes, Mike has been saying for years how he's Polish. You know, Paskis. It used to be Paskiki or something like that. I don't remember what it is. It had a Polish like ending to it.
Is Kiki Polish?
No, like Polinsky, Zadisky, like a Paskiski. I'm trying to add a ski to it, but it's weird. So he's always said that for years. He's Polish, whatever. He does his Ancestry DNA. There was no,
Girl, I got
1% Polish. Polish wasn't even a word on the freaking form.
Nope.
It was the last for me.
He's got, is this on mine or his? That one's mine. Where's his? Did he send me? I know he sent me his because I was comparing the two.
I'd say he told me that he sent you his. I think his big one was it Irish?
Yeah.
Okay.
His first one was Irish.
His first one was Irish, which honestly I googled the last name Paskis and it did say it came from Ireland, so I don't know where he got his little Paskiski information from. But now we roast him all the time because he swore up and down that he was Polish, and now we're like, Polish where?
Girl, we wouldn't even eat like the Polish food. We're like, what is it, pierogies? Like, oh, he's 25% Irish.
Okay.
23% English.
Okay.
From Northwestern Europe. German, 18%. Scottish, 11%. Sweden, Denmark, Baltics, I don't know what that means. Wales, and 2% Russian. And it's so funny because it shows you, like, your DNA connects you to these communities. It says the New Jersey, Eastern Pennsylvania settlers, and that's where he's from, is New Jersey, which is crazy.
It's amazing how many Paskis people are there, and he doesn't know them. Like, they're not related.
That's so crazy. I was
like, really? Like, you don't know these people with the last name Paskis? And he's like, no. And his uncle, I believe, says that he gets mixed up for another Paskis there. And that people are like, do you guys know each other? And he's like, I've never met that man ever. I thought that was interesting.
Girl, not my DNA. Megan, your DNA suggests you prefer sports teams. Okay.
Clearly, they don't know you.
Clearly. I am 46% English, which, mind you, this is what my mother told me I was. She told me I was Irish.
But you had Irish in there, right?
A little bit. Okay. A tiny bit of Irish. My mother, she looks Irish. She's a redhead. My mom's dad is a redhead. Mm-hmm. My brother's blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, it's more like a dirty blonde, brown. He was blonde his entire childhood. Mm-hmm. My grandma had blonde hair, like, very, very, could be Irish, you know. And Jimmy were Native American.
Oh, I love that.
My dad said German, which I'm 40% English, 46% English, 24% Scottish. So I think she was getting the Scottish confused with the Irish. And then German, and then Swedish. 0 Cherokee Indian.
I can't with y'all.
Oh, there's Irish in there too somewhere. It's just lowered. I think it's like 6%.
I forget what portion. My first one is indigenous Puerto Rico, or Puerto Rican, or whatever it is. And it's the Native American. That's how you know, which I already knew. If you're from Puerto Rico, you're probably Native American, because, you know, we were all taken and beaten.
Yikes.
Not we, because it wasn't obviously me. But I think I'm less than 50%. I think it might be 46%. I don't know why that number stands out. 46% Taino, but not good enough for a Scottish.
I can't.
I missed it by 4%. And now I know, now that my mom got her DNA stuff, it's her fault because her number one isn't Puerto Rico. Her number one is Spain.
That's crazy.
She's mostly Spaniard. I'm like, you ruined it for me.
Oh my God.
I needed one more Puerto Rican, like, inch of me in there, and I could have gotten the dang scholarship.
Dang.
And I think mine is, the Native American Puerto Rico, and then second was Portuguese.
Mm.
And I think third was Spain. But yeah, I'm all over from all the different little islands.
No, I love that.
Don't got any white countries.
Yeah. So I can't wait to see Travis's.
I know, I'm curious.
Very interesting.
I feel like, I just have a feeling like he might have some type of like Hispanic, like
Really?
pop up. Yeah, for some reason. I don't know which one, but I feel like he's gonna have like 2%, 2% Spain or 2% Portuguese or something
cool, because I was really hoping I would have something cool. Not when I saw Mike and I saw it was all like the white countries. I was like, please don't let that be. Give me something cool, some cool country that I could be like, yeah, I'm 2%, blah blah blah. But it didn't work out for me. But that's fine. I know he's got to have like some German just because the last name's Storts. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just cool for the kids to see. If we all get it done, they know exactly what they are. And I'm not going to be running around telling my kids that, there's a good chance they're Cherokee when they're fucking not.
Or Michael thinking he's Cherokee and Polish and his whole life is a lie. He doesn't know what he is.
Irish and Scottish and freaking English.
I know.
All he is.
Not for realsies.
I can't say, our lives have been a lie. So I love that for me.
I have to remind myself now that Leilani is part of that. Because every single time I say things, I'm like, yeah, we're Puerto Rican, 100% Puerto Rican. And Mike's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, she doesn't have all of my shit.
She's half Irish.
I know, I keep forgetting that. I keep thinking she's 100% Puerto Rican like I am. Because, I always say that. When people are like, what else are you? And I'm like, no, I'm 100% Puerto Rican. I'm like, so is she. And I'm like, no, she's not.
She's half Irish. No. Yeah, half Irish.
Is it half or like
a quarter?
Doesn't
I guess.
It like dwindle? Yeah.
Because Mike's half Irish. His number was his was 25.
She's
like, we suck at math.
Way to put it out for the world to see.
No, he's a quarter Irish. So then what's half of a quarter? She's an eighth.
Yeah.
An eighth Irish.
So she has more Spanish in her than white, at least.
Yeah. And then a quarter English. No, an eighth English.
Yeah.
Dang. And then a curly eyebrow from me.
I know, I keep dying every single time I see that eyebrow, and I'm like, how freaking ironic, man. And it's the pattern, like, that probably will stay like that for the rest of her life.
Yep, it's not, I just had to freaking pluck mine yesterday.
That is just too, like, scaringly funny.
Hilarious. And people say I didn't make a mark on that baby. That baby's not yours. Tell that to her eyebrow.
Curled eyebrow. For those who don't know what we're talking about, Megan has a curled eyebrow.
I'm going to insert pictures in the podcast.
She doesn't have a full straight.
No, it's not curled. It literally grows this little corner here. It grows in a circle. So I have to pluck it and then just draw a tail on because it will literally grow in a full circle. It's so weird.
And you can tell her curl pattern, her hair pattern is circle, so she can't change it or do anything to it. Mm-hmm. But it's on her left eyebrow. Leilani has it on her left eyebrow as well. And it's exactly the same area right before your, like, eyebrow shape goes downward.
It's like where the arch is. Kind of, like under,
She has a circle in the arch, something that I don't have. I have perfectly straight arches. She has a freaking circular arch, just like Megan.
Period.
In the left eyebrow. Like, I can't make this shit up.
You can't even say I did something to manipulate those hairs when I was in the hospital, because she sent me a picture right after the baby was born, okay? Before I even met the baby.
Not even 1 hour in and we saw that curl perfectly spun.
Yep.
So that's insane.
To say I don't have an input or your words don't matter. I manifested that eyebrow.
No.
I can't.
I think that's just too funny. Too good.
I'm going to touch on, just because I don't want it to be a full episode thing and people were asking, my hysterectomy, just to end this one up before we get into our next episode. Because I don't want it to be a full... I don't really have that much to say about it. I feel like I talked about it enough on our other socials, but just for the people who were asking here, or just so I can refer back to a specific video if people are asking. I am fully healed from my hysterectomy. It was a wild ride. I do still PMS, and I did get to keep my ovaries, for people asking. People were saying I didn't get a full hysterectomy. I did. I
takes a Google to find that out.
Yes.
Full hysterectomy does include ovaries.
Correct. So I do still have my ovaries. I am not going into menopause, although my emotions have been all over the place. I feel, I don't know, sometimes I just be crying. Sometimes I'm angry. Sometimes I'm just really happy for no reason. Like, my emotions, it's going to take about a year, they said, to, like, level out.
Regulate.
Yeah, just because, not because I'm going into menopause or anything, just because I've had major organs ripped out of my body and my body's trying to fluctuate. Main issues I had were, I couldn't drive for the first week and a half. Mm-hmm. Moving around too much, I really did not take that seriously. I ended up in the ER twice. Mm-hmm. I started bleeding very, very, very heavily. I was actually on the phone with Tiffany when it happened. Mm-hmm. Started bleeding and went to the ER. I was there for the first time by myself for a really long time, and they couldn't figure out why I was bleeding. They said it might have been hematomas. They thought I could have been bleeding into my stomach. The bleeding did stop after, I think it was like 6-7 hours, so they sent me home. They told me to take it easy, and if I start bleeding again, come back. I did start bleeding again, but I was at Disney.
Happy place on earth.
I know. And so I didn't feel like driving all the way back to Tampa, so I just kept an eye on it, and it ended up stopping. That was on Friday. It ended up stopping on Sunday. And so I went back to my hospital follow-up, and they were like, that's something you should have went to the hospital for. You need another CT. So I went back, and they said basically, like, they had to create a cuff. So this is probably TMI, but whatever. The hole in your vagina is stopped by your cervix, right? I don't have a cervix anymore.
Why did you look me right in the eyes when you said vagina, though? You're like, the hole in the vagina.
Cervix anymore. So they had to create something to basically stop things from going in there, right? That's the baby cooling. So they had to, sew all that up and whatever. So I, at some point from moving around when things were healing, created basically little pockets of blood, and they were popping. What's bad about that is it could cause, 1, infection, because now I have open wounds up there, and 2, it could eventually, depending on how big, the first couple ones were really big, they could open up and potentially open where the sutures were, and I could eventually open up, and they would have to go back in there and fix some things.
And do surgery all over again.
Do surgery all over again, correct. And, but I'm fine now. I did have some bleeding the other day, which I thought was really random, but it just ended up being light bleeding and then it stopped. So I didn't feel the need to go in. I figured I do have other hematomas right now, but they said my body would just hopefully reabsorb them if I take good care of myself. So I think that's what that was. Maybe I popped one, but it was such little blood, like it wasn't even anything. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Just dealing with the hormones. I tell Tiffany, I was like, we need to take turns. We both can't be emotional at the same time. Because, she's going through her hormones.
My hormones are trying to regulate.
Yeah, and I was like, we can't both do it on the same day. I'm like, you get to pick one day, and then I get to pick another day. One of us has to be level-headed at some point.
Poor husbands, if we have 2 emotionally wrecked women in a room together.
I know.
Oh, I love that.
So that is that. We're going to end this episode here because we do have to push out a couple of them today.
Yes.
So let us know your thoughts below on Mother's Day. What do you do for Mother's Day?
Yes,
and
let us know.
How do you feel? Who should be celebrated? I think our little friend's about to wake up. Maybe.
She's just suggesting. Tell you what, she's in here. She's good.
And she'll stay asleep?
She'll wake up every now and then to turn herself. That's how. So because she's underneath my chin, I'll be like doing something, and like knocks me into it. I'm like,
oh my god.
She did pretty good in here.
Speak up, baby. All right. Well, we will see you in the next one. Remember, if you have a question or need advice, we do give advice. Send us an email from Blended to Besties. So it's from blendedtobesties@gmail.com, and we will anonymously give you advice on our podcast. It doesn't have to be about co-parenting or a blended family. It could be literally about anything.
Anything that you need to phone a friend for. And for all the new people who are probably starting to listen in, do not forget to leave us a review, please, and thank you.
Yep. Love that for you guys. All right. We will see you guys in the next one.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.